All right, what is up, everybody? Just like many of you, I have seen the new Spider-Verse movie in theaters, and I just wanted to do a quick video talking about the things that I remembered, my thoughts on the movie. Let's get into it. Okay, so I'm not as educated on Spider-Man as a lot of other people are, like the intricacies and all the deep cut comics and all that. I'm not really that girl on that, but I just wanted to give y'all my thoughts on this movie, especially since it's a sequel. Now, when we're talking about sequels, it's like, I don't know, you already know how it is with sequels. It can be very hit or miss. It can be like, it runs the risk of not carrying the spirit or the essence of the first movie into the second one. But for me, this one hit it out, knocked it out the fucking park. Like, I just think it's really impressive when sequels are just as good as, or if not better than, the first one. And I think they really did that for me. Also, I don't know what kind of talent, whatever talent that these animators got, these people working on the graphics of this movie, whatever talent y'all got, I don't know how y'all got it. I need some of that talent too, because the movie looked good as hell. Like, even just the way that the colors were reacting to some of the characters' emotions and shit. I feel like when Gwen was feeling certain ways, there was like a lot of reds and blues and shit, but then it changed when she changed out of her like superhero costume. Like, just the way that the colors or the animation manifested, sometimes to me it reflected how whatever character we're seeing like on screen, it reflected how they were feeling. I thought that was really cool. But overall, the graphics in general was just crazy as hell. I loved it. Also, I loved how they kind of centered the plot around some of the things that people were saying about this Spider-Man, about Miles Morales in real life. Because it kind of centers around Miles, quote unquote, not belonging here. And even when he was talking to his mom that one time when she permitted him to go follow Gwen, you know what I'm talking about. Like, even that conversation, she was telling him, don't let anybody tell you that you don't belong here. You belong here. I just want you to be safe and blah, 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 blah. So, you know, you take that and then you take what people have been saying about Miles Morales in real life, like an actual, like what the fanboys be saying, he's not really Spider-Man, he ain't a real Spider-Man. Y'all changing the race of this motherfucker. Like, I love how they took that and like applied it to the character's actual struggles. You know what I mean? Also, what later on down the line in the movie, it got even more literal when we discovered that the issue is that, you know, Miles is supposedly not supposed to exist, and, you know, they explained all them canon events, and he could cause problems with the timeline and destroy the timeline and blah 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 blah. So I just really liked how they tied all of that together and you know, made it parallel what Miles was actually, as a character, was actually going through in the movie. There were so many Easter eggs. There were so many different kinds of Spider-Man in this, or Spider people. I think we saw a horse and a fucking T-Rex or shit, something. Like, there was just a whole lot of Easter eggs. Don't expect me to go through all them shits. Like I said in the beginning of the video, I'm not no Spider-Man expert, but I thought that was fun as well. Real quick before I move on, I just want to drag the shit out of the dads in this movie. What the hell were y'all doing? First of all, even that conversation between Miles and his mom that I'm talking about, it felt like, okay, where the fuck is the dad? The dad didn't, oh, I'm gonna ground you 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 5 months. But meanwhile, the mom was actually having a constructive conversation with Miles, or like trying to see his perspective, even though Miles was lying. Like, we all know that shit. But I'm just like, what the fuck going on with the dads in this movie? All Miles' dad did was just like, oh girl, well, you can't do this. Why are you lying? Girl, mad, I'm mad. You're grounded for 1 month, 2 months, 3. I mean, like, and his mom, even though he was still grounded after or whatever, his mom was just like, at least try to see from his perspective, because obviously something's going on. Obviously he's lying about something. Obviously is giving teenage angst or whatever, right? Like, and his mom was just like, let me at least try to see from his perspective. I don't know what the fuck the dad was doing. And then speaking of dads, let's talk about Gwen's dad. Gwen's dad is fucking weird as hell. Gwen's dad is weird as hell. Weird as hell. I mean, You really thought Gwen killed Peter Parker with your dumb ass? You really thought killed Spider-Man with your silly ass? And then when the reveal happened, Gwen's dad gonna hold up a gun to her and didn't he fire off a shot? Didn't he fire off a shot, if I'm not mistaken? Girl, that shit pissed me off so bad because I'm like, bitch, you got one. I would never speak to his ass ever the fuck again. It don't make no sense, girl. Like, how long have you been living with your damn daughter? Do you really just stop and think for a fucking second? Oh my goodness, but of course he chose the badge over her. Of course he chose. It's just, oh, he was so fucking weird. And then after that, she came back to him, which I don't think she should have ever did. She came back to him and she was joking around, well, oh yeah, well, she was joking with him like, oh yeah, I'm just doing nothing. I've just been chilling, you know, killing my best friends and shit. And it's almost like he wouldn't even budge after that. I mean, they had this whole redemption thing for her dad, but I'm just like, you raised a gun at your fucking daughter. I'm so sorry. Like, Gwen's dad gives me real weirdo, real bootlicker ass energy. That's what he gives me. And then like, he really thought that was gonna be enough. It would have never been enough for me. Oh, I've just been in my house depressed. Oh, that's what he's saying. We could see from the house, oh, I've been in my house depressed. And oh yeah, I quit my job, so I'm not doing that shit anymore. I've just been in here fucked up. I don't care if you raised a gun at me, girl. You should be fucked up. Like, oh my God, I hated the fact, I don't know. That's like I said, I've said this over and over on this channel. Sometimes it's okay to just cut a bitch off and let their ass go, girl. Especially if, honestly, a lot of this shit gives me very much allegory for queer youth, right? Coming out. Like, I mean, people are already talking about how Gwen basically parallels like a trans kind of coming of age or coming out kind of story. And even when we had that fake out with Miles, like we thought he was gonna come out to his actual mom, but it was his mom from a different universe. Even that felt like coming out. So I'm just like, I don't know, all this stuff, especially if you're paralleling, you know, this with LGBT stuff and coming out. Sometimes you gotta just cut a bitch off. Sometimes you gotta cut a family member off. And Gwen's dad definitely deserved to be cut the fuck off. I'm so sorry, I don't care what the fuck y'all talk about. Okay, I thought Spot, or whatever his name is, the Spot, I thought that was a hilarious villain. And it made sense based off of what happened. What else? The girls are over here online on social media lusting. Lusting after Spider-Man 2099. They are lusting after Miguel O'Hara, and I don't blame them. Like, look at that body. Like, look at his body. Look at this. Girl, he need to spin a web in my goddamn room. He need to spin a web in my face. Fuck you talking about? And Oscar Isaac voices him? Yeah, bring him on over. Bring him on over to my fucking universe, bitch. Bring him over to my room. Hope, stop playing with me. Also, what's his name? Pavitier, I don't know. I'm sure I pronounced that wrong. But this Spider-Man was really cool. I just loved, obviously I loved his personality. And I also loved the way that his webbing worked. I thought Issa's Spider-Woman's webbing was cool as hell too, even though the character was just like, okay, to me, I was like, girl, what are you doing? Like, I don't know. Also, let's talk about Mr. Spider-Punk. Yeah, he just lights a fire in my soul. He sparks joy in my spirit. He was just really cool in the entire movie. I thought he was cool. And he was, obviously he's this anti-establishment, blah, blah, blah. Oh, I loved when the other Spider-Man he pointed to that building behind him. He was just like, oh, this is where all the British stole our stuff. That was so funny. Seeing Nueva York and all the spider people and it was just, I mean, the fight, it seemed like there was on some fucking space elevator or some shit. I don't, girl. But that fight with Miguel O'Hara and Miles Morales was really fucking cool. He being chased all over by all the Spider-Man. But I thought it was, the ending was really, really cool. Now, I think that, because I did not find out that this movie was a part 1 until like directly before I watched it. Someone told me directly before I sat down in the theater and watched it. But I do think that in general, you know, some of these movies should be more direct about the fact that it is a part 1. Maybe I've just been out of the loop and I didn't realize it, and they've been advertising it as like a, you know, the first part of the story, of the last part, I guess, of the story. But you know what I mean? Like there's gonna be a second part to this story, or last part to the story, and that's why it ended the way that it did. But I'm thinking about Dune, you know, that movie that came out a while back. Dune, I'm thinking about that. I'm just like, I know it was probably, you know, written about in articles that it was a part 1 or whatever, or just the first part of a series. But I don't know, maybe y'all can put that shit in the title, because some people were kind of left, or felt like things were left less conclusive than they would have liked, right? But it's just, you know, we have another part of this story coming out, I think next year. So the way it ended to me makes a whole lot of sense. When you keep that in mind, I thought it was okay. So when Miles was gonna get transported out, or he thought he was going back to his main universe, one of my friends I was watching it with apparently caught the fact that he was being sent back to 42 or something. He was being sent back to one universe by looking at one of these numbers on the screen. I forget. I don't know. It flashed. It happens way too fast. I thought he was going back, but then things were kind of out of place because his uncle gonna talk about, oh, so where your braids at? Like, and I'm like, what y'all talking about, bro? And then, you know, when his mom didn't realize or didn't know who Spider-Man was or whatever the fuck, I was just like, okay, what's going on? But then by that time I was like, okay, he's obviously in the wrong place. And then when like he got tied the fuck up and another Miles came out as a Prowler, and I guess this Miles leans a lot harder into his you know, Latinx side or whatever. With that accent, it was just cool. I like Prowler Miles braids, bitch. That shit was cut. I liked it. I was like, Miles, you can take some style, you know, tips from this other this Mr. Prowler girl. Now, I want to ask y'all this question. I don't think I would be more terrified to look up, right? I'm in a different universe for some reason, right? And I look up and I see that it's me who's holding me captive. I think that would send a chill down my spine so bad, because I'm just like, bitch, if I piss my own self off, you know, at just existing in my own universe, can you imagine going to can you imagine going to another fucking universe and seeing another version of you? And I'm just immediately I would be like, oh bitch, I'm gonna have to kill this bitch. Immediately I would be like, oh my god, I'm really gonna have to kill this bitch, because if not, this bitch gonna kill me. Like, oh my god, I'm just thinking about the many ways I'd be dragging the shit out of myself or be pissed at myself when I just in everyday life, right? And I cannot, for the life of me, I cannot imagine ending up in the captivity, right? Ending up, you know, in the custody of another version of me, because I mean, so many things would be happening. I'm like, bitch, first of all, why the fuck do you want me? What's going on? Like, you're gonna beat my ass. Like, I would be like, oh bitch, I'm really about to die for real. I would be like, bitch, if I don't kill this motherfucker, like, he's definitely gonna kill me. He's definitely gonna kill me. But yeah, girl, I mean, I really was impressed, because like I said, it can kind of be a very hit or miss deal when you get the sequels coming, but it was so good. It was so good. It was so good. Like I said, animation was so just fresh. It felt fresh. It felt good. The colors were just getting me together. I wonder how it would have looked if it was 3D or something. Even though it basically looked like that. So yeah, tell me what y'all think about the movie. I know this was a really quick rundown of my thoughts. I was dragging the shit out of Gwen's dad for most of it, but he's just so annoying, girl. Oh my goodness, they love cops in this shit. Anyway. Love y'all so much. Thank you so much for watching. And I'll catch y'all later. Peace.